What we're going for in CNC4 is a much darker, more mature sounding score than we previously delivered in Red Alert 3. We're going to try and deliver a completely different audio experience, music experience for each of the factions, NOD and GDI. So we chose 3 different composers to write the score for Command & Conquer 4. The first one I chose was a guy called Jason Graves.
My name's Jason Graves, one of the composers for Command & Conquer 4. I was responsible for the GDI underscore, which is all orchestral, all organic, all acoustic, and I mocked up here in my studio before we recorded at Air Studios in London with the London Philharmonium, which was an absolute blast to work with. If I had to describe the score in a couple of words, I would say dark, dramatic, foreboding, tense, dissonant for sure. Nick had great ideas for everything, and the end result with the orchestra was just absolutely phenomenal.
So the next guy I chose, this guy wrote the NOD score, was Tim Wynn.
We made a conscious effort from the very get-go to have the GDI score have a completely different sound than the NOD score. Well, I think one of the hardest things was there was a piece of music that I had created that Nick and I both really loved for the NOD score, but we were like, well, what can we do that's better than this track? And I kept on trying to, you know, do something that was better, and Nick would say, you know, well, have you listened to the Elskrin track? That's kind of what I want. And we just kept on trying to get better and better and better and better than the original track, and we just couldn't beat the original, so that's how it ended up in the game. And basically it's the quote-unquote NOD sound.
So the third guy I chose was a guy that I'd worked with for a very long time, James Hannigan. He and I have got a history that goes back to 1995. We started working together.
And I guess that you could say that my role on this project has been as a kind of jack of all trades, in the sense that I've had my fingers in just about every pie. I think in the case of CNC4, for me, I was very interested in the backstory, and I was trying to sort of equate the music with the characters and with the overall sort of direction that you're going in throughout the game. So as the story unfolds, you'll get this sort of music, particularly in the cutscenes, that's sort of moving the story along and adding this emotional backdrop. So it's not just about action on, action off.
So if I was going to sum up what the music for the game was going to be like, I would hope that basically it delivered a completely different experience depending on whether you were playing as GDI and NOD. And then within playing as either GDI or NOD, it delivered a huge emotional range as well, from incredibly dark and frantic to beautiful and sometimes sad, but beautifully sad. And I look forward to hearing your feedback on the forums. Cheers.